Why you bought Twitter? Why didn't you create your own platform? Maybe it was cheaper for you?
I mean, I thought about creating something from scratch, but I thought Twitter would perhaps accelerate progress versus creating something from scratch by 3 to 5 years. I think we are seeing just a tremendous technology acceleration that 3 to 5 years is actually worth a lot. I mean, to be frank, I was a little worried about the direction that and the effect of social media on the world, and especially Twitter. And I thought it was very important for there to be a maximally trusted sort of digital public square where people, within countries and internationally could communicate with, the least amount of censorship allowed by law. Obviously, that varies a lot by jurisdiction, but I think in general, social media companies should adhere to the laws of countries and not try to put a thumb on the scale beyond the laws of countries. But Twitter was, I think, doing a little too much to impose a niche, San Francisco, Berkeley ideology on the world.
But how do you see Twitter? If we say 5 years down the road?
Sort of like an everything app, where it's just maximally useful. It does, payments. It does. So it provides financial services, provides information flow. Really anything digital. I think be as useful as possible, as entertaining as possible, and also to be like a source of truth. Like if you want to find out what's going on and what's really going on, then you should be able to go on X, the X app, and find out.
But how do you see Twitter? Did you identify a CEO and when you are going to hire him?
Well, I think I need to stabilize the organization and just make sure it's in a financially healthy place, and that the product roadmap is clearly laid out. So I don't know. I'm guessing probably towards the end of this year. Artificial intelligence is something we need to be quite concerned about. I played a significant role in the creation of OpenAI. Essentially, at the time, I was concerned that Google was not paying enough attention to AI safety. But the ChatGPT, I think, has illustrated to people just how advanced AI has become. Because the AI has been advanced for a while, it just didn't have a user interface that was accessible to most people. I think we need to regulate AI safety. My concern is that with AI, if there's something bad, if something goes wrong, the reaction might be too slow. The biggest risks to the future of civilization is AI, but AI is a double, it's both positive and negative. It has great promise, great capability, but it also, with that comes great danger. I think we should be quite concerned about it, and we should have some regulation of what is if fundamentally a risk to the public.
Another subject, Elon, education. I mean, you have your own philosophy about education. With AI, education might change dramatically. Can you tell us briefly about your philosophy of education?
I also think that critical thinking is something that should be taught to children at a relatively young age, as effectively like a mental firewall, to really think about when somebody tells you something, is it cogent? Is it true? Or what is the probability that it is true? And so that you can be taught to reject things that are untrue or more likely to be untrue, and favor things that are more likely to be true. Critical thinking, I think, is very helpful for people to learn. You've
been working very hard. I mean, since 6 years ago we met, you look much younger, by the way, than 6 years ago.
Thanks. You look great too.
But I know that you've been working for almost 20 hours a day. You sleep in the sofa in the office, maybe Twitter office, Tesla office. You told me once I was with you at Tesla's office. How do you balance your life? I mean, with this stress, with so many different, you run so many different company parallel. How do you balance it?
Well, I mean, I should point out that a 20-hour workday is relatively unusual and rather painful. But I do sleep 6 hours a night. So, and if I sleep less than 6 hours a night, I find that I might be awake longer, but I get less done. So, but I do work a ridiculous amount, I think, relative to most people, in that it's pretty much 7 days a week, and mostly from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. I'm not suggesting this is good for everyone, and I think, frankly, I would like to work a bit less than that. So, I think, if I look at, say, Tesla went through some very difficult times where it was on the ragged edge of survival, and really, if I didn't give it everything I got, I think the company could have easily gone bankrupt. It was really on the verge of bankruptcy for quite a while. I don't mean to suggest complacency at this point, but it does require much less work to operate Tesla now versus, say, in the 2017 to 2019 timeframe. And it's not at mortal risk of survival. It's achieved economies of scale that make it, not on the ragged edge of survival. And then SpaceX also has a strong team and is able to make a lot of progress, even if I spend less time there. It does help if I spend time there, but it keeps making progress even if I don't. Twitter is still somewhat of a startup in reverse, and so there's a lot of work required here to get Twitter to a sort of a stable position, and like I said, to really build the engine of engineering, of software engineering at Twitter, and have it, really have, like I said, a great product roadmap and the people in place to implement that product roadmap. And so it is not my intention to work like crazy. I mean, I think I would be comfortable with a mere 80-hour work week would be fine.
All right.
And that is what I would aspire to.
Thank you. We are running out of time. I have one last question I have to ask you.
Sure.
3 UFO been shot, one over Alaska, Lake Huron, and Canada. Alien, no alien?
I don't think it's aliens, no.
Okay.
I mean, I do find the whole question of aliens a very interesting one. What is typically called the Fermi paradox, which is that if the universe is really as old as science seems to think it is, and where are the aliens? Have we really been around for 13.8 billion years? If so, shouldn't there be aliens all over the place? The crazy thing is I've seen no evidence of alien technology or any alien life whatsoever. And I think I'd know. SpaceX, we do a lot. I mean, I think I know. I don't think there's anyone who knows more about space, than me, or at least the space technology. But I think it's actually a troubling thing if there are no aliens as well, which is that what that actually could mean then is that sort of civilization and consciousness is like a tiny candle in a vast darkness, and a very vulnerable tiny candle that could easily get blown out. And I think we should therefore take great care with what may very well be this tiny candle in a vast darkness, and make sure that it does not go out, and that we extend the light of consciousness beyond Earth, and do everything we can to ensure that the light of consciousness does not go out.